Good morning, class. So, yesterday we were doing the percentage. There was one question which a student was asking yesterday itself. So the question was, a person covers some 12 kilometer and he find that he has actually covered the 80% of total distance. To find out the total distance he has to travel. So what was the question? The question was that suppose this is the total distance he need to cover, and when he covered 12 kilometer, he find that the total percentage of distance, total distance he covered right now is 80%. That means, see, the total will always be equal to 100%. The total is equal to 100%. And he find that out of this total, right now he has covered some 80% of distance. 80% of distance. So what happened? See here. I told you yesterday also, you have to read question very properly. And like whenever we are talking about any number, it can be shown in the percentage also. So this, if you see, the total distance is 100%. Out of that, he has covered 80%, and he find that he has till now covered 12 kilometer. So from here, we can say that, this 80% should be equal to 12 kilometer. This 80% should be equal to 12 kilometer. So when this 80% is equal to 12 kilometer, so what is 100%? What is 100%? How we can find out? I told you this is 80% 12 kilometer. If we find out 20% more, then if we add both, we will get 100% or not? We will get 100%. So how to find that 20%? Either you can do like this way. 1% is equal to 12 upon 80. And 100% is equal to, we have to multiply by 100. 15 kilometer. So this is a simple way to solve the problem. Source to refer the practice. I'm not sure. Like I will ask the team to upload the sheet today. Don't worry. Probably yesterday I missed that. So today I will ask the team to upload the sheets. So you will get the sheet from today itself. Okay. So 80% is equal to 12, 100% is equal to 15 kilometer. This was a simple question which already they have asked in the examination. You can, we will take it up, don't worry. Probably tomorrow we will see, do the previous year problems. Okay. Now, a student is asking a question. When a number is increased by 62 1/2%, then it's become 143. The question is, if a number is increased by 62 1/2%, the number become 143. Okay? Find the original number. So this we have to do it. Now this is very simple problem. Actually see, why I have not taken this problem till now, because I will tell probably today or tomorrow how to change percentage into ratio. Because if we do this question by percentage, it's become little bit difficult. If we do by ratio, this become very easy. So I will tell you in the like today class itself or tomorrow class. Don't worry for that. Now how to solve by till now knowledge whatever we have. So number, suppose how we will solve this question? If we have to solve, either we can assume x. So suppose the number was x. It is increased by 62 1/2%. It is increased by 62 1/2%. So increase means addition. How much increment? 62 1/2% or 62.5% of x. We have to find out 62.5% of this number and we have to add. And now this number become 143. This number become 143. Are you getting my point or not? If we solve this thing, we can divide by 100 and this become 162.5 upon 100, x is equal to 143. From here we can find out the value of x. Okay, so this is the way. Just wait, let me complete the topic. Some students are asking the questions of the sheets. I think it's uploaded. That's why they are asking. Just wait for some time. Let me complete the topic first. And then like whatever question you are asking, I will take it up. I will take it up. Don't worry for that. Till now I have not taken that concept. I have taken only one concept. So you have to wait. Let me complete the topic. And once I have completed, you itself is able to solve the problem. So don't worry, just concentrate on here right now. Just concentrate on here right now. So from here we can find out the value of x. The question was, when number is increased by 62.5%, the number become 143. So suppose the number was x, it is increased by 62.5%. Now the number become 143. So increase, I told you yesterday, whenever increase word is there, that means addition is going on. How much addition? This much percent. So we have find out this much percent, and now number become 143. So we have just solved this. If we solve this question by ratio, fraction, this become very easy. I will take fraction after some time. Then you are able to solve this question very easily, even without all this thing. Okay? Now, a question is there, when numerator of a fraction is increased by 50% and denominator is decreased by 20%, the fraction become 5 by 8. The fraction become 5 by 8. Find the original fraction. Find out the original fraction. What is the question? Now, yesterday we have taken the concept of increment and decrement. Now we are doing the question on the same logic. We are doing the question on the same logic. Yesterday we have done what is the meaning of increment, 50% increment, 20% increment. Already we have done. So now we are doing the questions on the same topic. Okay. Now understand this thing. What exactly is the question? When the numerator of a fraction is increased by 50%. When we talk about the fraction, so let's take the fraction as x upon y. This is called as numerator and this is called as denominator. Now read the question very properly. When the numerator of a fraction is increased by 50%. So if you remember the yesterday class, if you have revised it, so yesterday I told you anything in itself is always 100%. When it is increased by 50%, the number become 150% or not? The numerator in itself is 100%. What is the meaning of increase by 50%? Increase means addition. How much addition? 50%. Number was already 100%. If you increase by 50%, the number become 150%. Yesterday we have done this. Yesterday we have done this. So numerator become 150% and denominator is decreased by 20%. Now see here, when denominator is decreased, decrease means subtraction. How much subtraction? 20% subtraction. How much subtraction? 20% subtraction. From where? From which number? From 100%. So that means now this become 80%. So original fraction was x upon y. Now numerator is increased by 50%. So this become 150%. Denominator is decreased by 20%. Now this become 80%. Now fraction become 5 by 8. So this become 5 by 8. Find the original fraction. That means we have to find out the value of x upon y. Find out the value of x upon y. So from here we can say percent means divide by 100. Here also percent is there. Here also percent is there. We can simply cancel out. Now this become x upon y into 150 upon 80 is equal to 5 upon 8. From here we can say x upon y is equal to, we can cross multiply 5 upon 8 into 80 into 150. So now we can cancel out. This become 30, this become 10, and this become 1 upon 3. This become 1 upon 3. Just let me check. 5 3s are. Okay, it's fine. Calculation you can check it. So the concept was when the numerator of a fraction is increased. देखो मैं कल से आपको समझा रहा हूं. I am telling you since yesterday what is the meaning of increment and decrement. This is very simple thing. No rocket science involved here. Increment means addition, decrement means subtraction. The number, if this marker is there, this marker in itself is 100%. If you decrease something, that value will decrease from 100%. If you increase something, that value will get added into 100%. So what is the question? Suppose if I increase a number by 10%. So number was 100%. If you increase by 10%, that means the number become 110%. If you decrease by 10%, the number was 100%. If you decrease by 10%, that means the number become 90%. That means the number become 90%. And this is not a rocket science, sir. This is very simple things. We have to do the addition and subtraction only. We have to do the addition and subtraction only. And understand, UPSC is not going to ask such simple question. They are going to ask a bit difficult one. And if you allow me, then only I will reach up to that level. If you don't allow me, if you ask same thing again and again, it's become difficult for you and for me also to like go to up to that level. And it's not important to just, one thing is like I will come here, according to your level I will teach you, you will become happy, I will become happy, I have completed the syllabus. But that's not going to serve the purpose. The reason is, I have to teach what UPSC is asking, not what you are liking. You might be your level is not up to that mark, so you like only simple question and you don't like up to the UPSC question. So my point is, I have to cover everything. I have to cover the simple as well as the UPSC. So you have to be very attentive here. Try to understand. Yesterday we have discussed all this thing. What is the meaning of increment? What is the meaning of decrement? If you don't revise the class, if you just came like that, then it's become difficult for you to understand today's concept. Because today's concept is completely based on yesterday. But I will make sure if you understand yesterday class, today class also you will enjoy it. Because everything is completely dependent on the yesterday class itself. But if you have not revised, you just came today, then I can't say anything, because now you don't have time and it's really difficult for you to understand the subsequent class if you don't revise yesterday one. So here the simple thing is increase by 50%. So increase means anything was 100%. If you increase by 50%, that's what I'm asking. If you don't revise yesterday class, it's become difficult for you to understand the concept. Okay, somebody is asking why not we have done the addition, why we have done the multiplication. Why not we have done the addition, why we have done the multiplication. Okay, let me explain that also. This x upon y, what is the meaning of increase by 50%? Yesterday I have done both the cases. Just go and revise the yesterday class. I have asked you either change both in the number or change both into the multiplication. Okay, I'm literally confused because you guys are asking the same thing again and again. And okay, let me explain, sir. Please be here, concentrate here. If you won't concentrate, really is difficult because this is the simplest thing I am taking right now. And UPSC is going to ask much like a harder question than this one. Go and check the previous year paper. And if you won't concentrate, I am damn sure you are not able to solve the paper. See here very clearly. Go and check the yesterday class notes or yesterday videos. I have asked you to watch it. What I have asked? What is the meaning of increment by 50%? What is the meaning of, suppose a number is there, what is the meaning of 50% increment? What is the meaning of that? I have done the two methods. The first method was either find out the 50% of this number. How to find out the 50% of this number? Simply x into 50 upon 100. This will give us the 50% of this number. And what is the second step? Since increment word is there, so we will add into this value or not. And if you see here, what will come? This will come 100x plus 50x upon 100. This will come as 150 upon 100 into x. This will come as 150 upon 100 into x. This is the one way to do it. The second way was, I told you the x is 100%. So if you increase 50% into that, that means the number become 150% or not. And the same thing I am showing here. This is what? This is 150% of x or not? Because 150 upon 100 means 150%. So x become 150%. So simple meaning is x into 150 upon 100. This is what we have done yesterday or not? This is what we have done yesterday or not? So there are two ways. Either simply find out 50% and then add into that, you will get the same answer. Or the second way I told you, change both things into percentage and you can directly write, if you are increasing 50% into a number, the number become 150%. The number become 150%. And if you don't revise, I can't help you, sir. I can't help you. Yesterday itself, I have taken example. That's why I have given you whole day time. Go and revise and find out how to solve. So again, I am telling you, whenever you are increasing a number by 50%, the number is becoming 150%. Increase means what? The number was 100%. Increase of 50% means the number become 150%. So either you can do like this way or you can do directly like this way. You will get the same answer. You will get the same answer. That's why I have taken here, suppose the fraction was x upon y. When you increase by 50%, so either do like this way, and denominator is decreased by 20%. Now this become 5 upon 8. Now when you solve this thing, you will get the same thing. When you solve this thing, you will get the same thing. Okay, let's do something here. If suppose we will write x is increased by 30%. What is the meaning of this? When x is increased by 30%, simply we will say increase means addition. How much addition? 30% of x. So now this quantity become 130, or simply we can say 130% of x. So you can think of x in itself was 100%. When x is increased by 30%, that means the number become 130%. That means the number become 130%. Suppose I am saying x is decreased by 10%. What is the meaning of this? Anything was 100%. When you decrease by 10%, the number become, directly you can write, the number become 90%. The number become 90%. The number become 90%. When x is decreased by 10%, the number become 90%. Okay, there are two statements which you have to be very careful. There are two statements which you have to be very careful. The one statement is x is decreased by 30%, the first statement, and second statement is x is decreased to 30%. What is difference between two? What is the difference between two? X is decreased by 30% and x is decreased to 30%. So decreased by 30% means x was 100%, and if you decrease 30%, that means x becomes 70%. That means x become 70%. Second concept is x is decreased to 30%. That means now the value itself becoming 30%. It is not decreased by, it is decreased to. That means now the value become 30%. So always aware about this term. Always aware about decrease by or decrease to. Always aware about decrease by or decrease to. Always aware about decrease by or decrease to. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of next sentence? A sentence is x is 20% more than y. X is 20% more than y. So what is the meaning of this? %, more than y. More than y means something is getting added. How much is getting added? 20%. So simply this become 120% of y. Now these are the terms which they are going to use in the questions. These are the terms which they are going to use in the question. So always aware about these type of question. Always aware about these type of statement, because they are going to use this in the question, and if you know this thing, you are able to solve very easily. You are able to solve very easily. Okay. Now, a very good question which can come in the examination. See, whenever we have to take two-digit number in mathematics, whenever we have to take two-digit number in the mathematics, we never take like A into B. This is the unit place, this is 10th place. So suppose number is 32, so we will never take like this. we always take two-digit number like this, 10a plus b. Why 10a plus b? Because this is unit place, we will multiply by 1. This is 10th place, we will multiply by 10. For example, 32 is there. How we will write 32? 10 into 3 plus 2 into or 1 into 2. So this becomes 32, like 3-digit number. So we will always take 3-digit number like this, 100x plus 10y plus z. Why 100x plus 10y plus z? Because this is 100 place, we are multiplying by 100. This is 10th place, we are multiplying by 10. This is unit place, we are multiplying by unit 1. So understand, always two-digit number. We will do more question on the number system. I am taking one question here. So this should be always be like 10a plus b. Whenever we are taking two-digit number always take into the form of 10a plus b. Never take two-digit number as ab. Your question will be wrong. Okay. Now, a question here. What is the question? When the digits of two-digit number get reverse, when the digits of two-digit number get reverse, the new number formed is 75% more than old number. 75% more than old number. Find out in original number unit digit is how much percent more or less than 10th digit. Now this can be the question of UPSC. You can mark this thing, you can learn this concept, because this kind of question they can ask in the UPSC. This is the actual question. So now feel the heat. Now feel the heat. See, everything I have told you, the meaning of 75% more than old number, then all these things we have discussed. Just take 2-3 minutes. Try to, now I have told you what is the meaning of percent of more or percent of less. We know this thing. We know this thing. Are you getting my point or not? We know the meaning of this. So if you know all the statement, you can interpret this question easily. But if you don't know the statement, you don't know the meaning of a statement, you can't solve it. Now just do it. Just try it. Just try to solve this question. Just try to solve this question. Take 2-3 minutes. I'm waiting for your answers. If you are able to solve, please send your answer. I will be more than happy if you are able to solve. What is the question? When the digit of two-digit number, so if number is AB, so how we will take? 10A plus B. 10A plus B. Okay, I will write little bigger. I am repeating the question here. I will write little bigger, don't worry. Thanks, I will take it up. I will take your feedback and I will write little bit bigger. The question is, when the digits of two-digit number get reversed, when the digits of two-digit number get reversed, the new number formed is 75% more than old number. What is the question? When the digits of two-digit number get reversed, the new number formed is 75% more than old number. Find out in original number, unit digit is how much percent more or less than 10th digit number. This is the actual question. So suppose the number we are taking as AB, this is your unit digit, B is your unit digit, and A is your 10th digit. And now what the question is saying? When this get reversed, so when this get reversed, that means now this become BA. Now this become BA. BA means 10B plus A. And now the question is saying the new number formed is 75% more than old number. Now you can apply this concept here. Apply the concept. Try to find out the answer. This can be the UPSC question, so please mark this one. Whenever you are revising your CSAT, please go through this once. Okay, I have dictated, I don't know like what is the problem, I have dictated when the digits of two-digit number get reversed, the new number formed is 75% more than old number. When the digits of two-digit number get reversed, the new number formed is 75% more than original number. Find out in original number, the unit digit is how much percent more or less than 10th digit number. Okay, I hope this side is visible. This side is visible. Okay. Now let's try to solve this question. Let's take number as AB, original number as AB. So we will take number as 10A plus B. 10A plus B. Now the question is saying that when the digit of two-digit number get reversed, so when we are reversing it, that means the number become 10B plus A. That means the number become 10B plus A. And according to the question, the new number is 75% more than old number. The new number is 75% more than old number. So 75% more means addition. How much addition? 75%. How much addition? 75%. Okay? So if we solve this thing, this will come as 175 upon 100 10A plus B, and that is equal to 10B plus A. Now we will do the cross multiplication. This 100 will come on this side. This become 1000B plus 100A now B will come on this side. So 1000B minus 175B, 750A minus 100A. This become 820, sorry. This become 825B is equal to 1650A. So B is equal to 2A. This is what we are getting. B is equal to 2A. Anybody have doubt till now, they can ask. I'm not going to repeat it. If you have a doubt, you can ask right now itself. If you have a doubt in this solution, you can ask right now itself. If you have a doubt, you can ask right now itself. When the digits of two-digit number get reversed, so what we have done? We have taken number as AB. When these get reversed, this become BA. So AB means 10A plus B, and when it get reversed, BA means 10B plus A. So the new number formed is 75% more than old number. More than old, that means in old something is getting added. How much is getting added? 75% is getting added. So we will add 75% out of this. So when we add this, become 175% or 175 upon 100, 10A plus B. We will do the cross multiplication. We will solve this thing and we will get B is equal to 2A. B is equal to 2A. Now what is the question? Find out in original number the unit digit. So original number is AB. The question is the unit digit, that means B is how much percent more or less than 10th place number. So B is a unit place. The simple question is B is how much percent more or less than 10th place or A. B is how much percent more or less than A. So from here we can say B is more because B is twice of A. B is okay. One student is asking how this become 175. Bhai, ab na, matlab, you have to understand because I'm not going to repeat, sir. Since yesterday I'm repeating the same thing. I'm repeating how this become 175. Ab now I'm leaving it to you. Just go and watch the video again. Try to understand. I'm not going to repeat, sir, because already I have told you or everything is written. Just solve this thing. I hope you know how to take the LCM, how to do the addition of this. Take the LCM. If you take the LCM, what will happen? This become 110A plus B plus 75 10A plus B. If you take 10A plus B common, this become 175. And this is what I have written here. You can solve it by addition and all. Now you can solve it. I'm not going to repeat. So the question is B is how much percent more or less than A. So percent more or less than A. So what is the meaning of this? How we will solve this thing? How we can solve this thing? We can solve this thing because percent of more or percent of less, that means they are asking percent of change. Percent of change is equal to final value minus initial value upon initial value into 100. So what is initial value? 10th digit is your initial value. Yesterday I told you the method how to find out the initial value. So 10th digit is your initial value. So that means B is final value, A is initial value into 100. Just put the value of B. B is equal to 2A. If you put this thing, how much you will get? 2A minus A upon A into 100. This will cancel out. That means B is 100% more than A. What is the answer? The answer will be 100% more than A. What is the answer? The answer will be 100% more than A. The answer will be 100% more than A. The answer will be 100% more than A. Actually, if you understand the yesterday class, you know the meaning of percent of more or percent of less. If you know the 75% more than old number, if you understand this concept, you can simply solve. Only two concepts is required. The first concept is what is the meaning of 75% more. Second concept is how to find out percent of more or less. And from here also you can solve it directly without doing. Whosoever understand, they can see here. Whenever B is equal to 2A is coming, B is equal to 2A is coming. That means if A is equal to 1, B become 2. That means B is just double of A. B is just double of A, and double of A means what? 100% more. Anything is 100, anything is 200. So that means simply 100% more is there. So you can do it directly without doing this percent of change concept. But if you are not able to understand, then apply the percent of change concept here. This can be the question of UPSC. The statement can change, the percentage value can change, but the conceptual question they can ask like this. Conceptual question, I'm not sure whether they will ask 75% or 60% or 20%. They can ask anything, but yes, the conceptual part remains same. The conceptual part they can ask. Okay. Okay. Now the next part what we are going to do is successive increment or decrement. Successive increment or decrement. What is the meaning of this successive increment or decrement? See, if we are saying that the population of a country is increased by 10% every year, the population of a country is increased by 10% every year. Find out the population after 2 years. Find out the population after 2 years. So what generally will come in our mind? It is like that. Say, generally it will come in our mind like, if population is increased by 10% every year, that means right now the population is 100. So in 2 years the population will increase by 20%. In 2 years the population will increase by 20%. Try to understand. Try to understand this thing. See, if the population is 100 right now, if population is getting increased 10% every year, what does this mean? See, first year, the population increased by 10%. Increment means addition. How much addition? 10% of this number. So what is 10% of this number? 10% of this number is 10. So if I add 10 into this number become 110. So in case of successive increment, the next year the increment won't occur at this value. Increment occur at this, because every year the population is increasing by 10%. So suppose this is 2019 data, this is 2020 data. So next year what will happen? In 2021, the population increase of 10% of this, not 10% of this. Understand? Every year 10% increment. So this year increment is 10% of previous year. Previous year 10% means, understand, what happened? In this year, the increment is 10% of previous year. This year, the increment is 10% of this year. So all this will go like this. So if I increase 10% again, 10% increment, increment means addition, 10% of which number? Not this 100, but 10% of this number. What is 10% of 110? 10% of 110 become 11. 10% of 110 become 11. Why? We know how to find out 10% of this number. Any number, if we have to find out 10%, yesterday I told you, just put a decimal before the unit place. So simply this become 11. So if I increase 11, now this become 121. 121. So now you can see that anything was 100. Now the population become 121. Anything was 100. Now the population become 121. That means there is an increment of 21%. That means there is a increment of 21%. There is an increment of 21%. That means if 2-year population is increased by 10%, the overall increment is not of 20%, but out of 21%. Understand this concept? 10% increment, the next 10% increment occur on this value. Next 10% increment occur on this value. And this kind of increment is generally called as successive increment, or if we are decreasing, this is called as successive decrement. Any doubt you can ask right now? Otherwise we will move to the more concept of this. If you have a doubt, you can ask right now. Okay. Now try to understand one more concept here. See, suppose a number is increased by 20%. Understand, a number is increased by 20%. So when I am saying the number is increased by 20%, 20% increment, increment means addition. How much addition? 20% addition. 20% of this number become 20. That means now the number become 120. Now the number become 120. Listen very carefully, very important concept. A question can be asked here. I will give you one question also. Listen very carefully here. Number is increased by 20%. That means absolute value increase is 20. Fine. The question is, how much percent now we will decrease the number so that the number become original. the number become original number. See, so we have to decrease. So generally student will say, sir, 20% decrement. Listen carefully. Definitely if this become 120 from 100, so we have to decrease 20 into that so that the number become 100. So that the number become 100. But if we find out the percentage, so initially we were finding out 20 increment into 100, but now the 20 decrement is into 120. 20 decrement is 120. So how much we are decreasing? We are decreasing 20 upon 120 into 100. And if you solve this thing, this will come as 16.66%. That means, and why this is changed? The change is because the base value is changing. Initially the increment was of 100, but now the decrement we are doing on 120. So the base value is changing. The base value is changing. So simply we can say the decrement, if we increase any number by 20%, the number become 120. If we have to come to the original number, we have to decrease this by 16.66 so that we will reach at the original number. So this is one of the important concept. And why the percentage is changing? Why not 20%? Because the base value is changing. Initially the base value was 100. Now the base value become 120. If you have a doubt, you can ask right now. Otherwise, I will give you one question here. If you have any doubt, you can ask right now. Okay. Now yesterday we have learned X is how much percent more or percent less than Y. So we know that for this they are asking the percent of change, and which is equal to final value minus initial value upon initial value गुणे 100. When we will use this concept? When they are asking percent of more, percent of less, then we will use this concept. Now there is another thing which sometime they will ask, and that thing is, I'm roughing it because already we know this thing. Okay, let me do it here. Second part is, X is how much percent of Y, or what percent of Y is X? What percent of Y is X? So see here the concept of percent of more or percent of less, but here they are asking directly, X is how much percent, or X is what percent of Y, or simply what percent of Y is X. They are not asking more or less. In this, simply the concept is X upon Y into 100. They are asking X is what percent of Y. They are asking the value of X is what percent of Y. So simply we will do X upon Y into 100. Like here, we are decreasing 20. So 20 is what percent of 120? Simply we will say 16.66%. So always aware of these two statements. These two statements are very important, and this can come into the examination. So whenever they are asking percent of more or percent of less, we will go for percent of change. And when they are asking directly X is what percent of Y, or X is what percent of X, then simply we will go for X upon Y into 100. Okay. Now suppose if I am saying the population of a country is increased by 20% first year and decrease by, decrease by 20% second year. What happened? The population of a country is increased, or anything you can take, a number is increased by 20%, then decrease by 20%. Okay? Find the change in the number, find the percent of change in the number, or the population of a country is increased by 20% first year and decrease by 20% second year, find the change in the population. A simple question. So how we will solve? Less the population was 100. First year, what will happen? There is a 20% increment. Increment means addition. 20% of this number become 20. 20% of this number become 20. So now 20% of this number become 20. Addition, that means this become 120. That means this become 120. Now what will happen second year? Second year, the population is decreased by 20%. The population is decreased by 20%. What is the meaning of decrease in 20%? Now see here, decrease means minus sign. How much decrease? 20%. So see here, 10% of this number is 12. 20% of this number become 24. 10% of this number is 12. 20% of this number become 24. So when I decrease 24 out of this, now this become 96. 96. So you can see that successively if you are increasing 20%, then decreasing 20%. So what happened? When you are increasing 20%, the base was 100. When you are decreasing 20%, the base was 120. So now the overall change is, anything was 100, now that become 96. That means there is a 4% decrement into that. There is a 4% decrement into that. Any number was 100. First increase by 20%. The number become 120. Now secondly, the number is decreased by 20%. That means 20% of this. So 10% of this is 12. 20% of this is 24. So if I decrease 24 out of this, the number become 96. The number become 96. That means there is a 4% decrement into this. Suppose the question is, A is 25% more than B. Then B is how much percent less than A? So first understand percent less than A. So percent less means they are asking percent of change, and that become final value minus initial value, and A is the initial value, B is the final value. because the question is B is how much percent less than A. So that means this become B minus A upon A into 100. This is the final question they are asking. Okay? And now what is the relationship given between A and B? A is 25% more than B. So that means if we take B as 100, so A become 125. Why? Because A is 25% more than B. So if we are taking B as 100, A become 125. So simply we will put the value here. This become 100 minus 125 upon 125 into 100. If you solve 25 upon 125 into 100, this become 20%. So the previous question which we have taken, the same logic is applied here. Listen very carefully. We are increasing 25%, that means we are increasing 25. Now the question is, this value is how much percent less than this value? Or this can be said like this, how much percent we will decrease in A so that we will reach at B. So listen very carefully, we have to decrease absolute value as 25 itself. The change is of 25 or not? Because if we have to reach from 125 to 100, we have to decrease 25. And this is what is coming as change. This is what is coming as change. So change is of 25, but now the base value is changing. Why? Because initially we were increasing in 100, so that's why in the base the 100 was there. How we have find out 25% of this number? Simply we have find out 25% of 100 like this only or not. From here itself the 25 is coming. So we were increasing on the base value of 100. But now when we are decreasing on a base value of 125. Because the question is asking how much we have to decrease in A so that we will reach at B. So we have to decrease 25 itself, but initially the base value was 100. Now we are decreasing on A, so base value become 125, so that equal to 20%. That means if we are increasing 25%, we have to decrease 20%, then only we will reach at point A. Okay. देखो, listen carefully. This 25% sign is here and this is number. This is number. I have not written percentage here. Percentage I have found it here. Okay. Solve one question, a technical one. The question is, the population of a country, is increased by X percent in 2019. The population of a country is increased by X percent in 2019. In 2020, because of COVID-19, because of COVID, the population is decreased by Y percent. The population is decreased by Y percent in such a way that now it become equal to starting population of 2019. Starting population of 2019. What is the question? The population of a country is increased by X percent in 2019. The population of a country is increased by X percent in 2019. In 2020, because of COVID-19, the population is decreased by Y percent in such a way that now it's become equal to the starting population of 2019. Now it's become equal to the starting population of 2019. Then which of the following relationship will be correct? The question is, which of the following relationship will be correct? The first option is X will be more than Y, X will be less than Y, X is equal to Y, and can't be determined. I am repeating the question. The population of a country is increased by X percent in 2019. In 2020, because of COVID-19, the population is decreased by Y percent in such a way that now it's become equal to the starting population of 2019. Then which of the following is true regarding X and Y? Again, this is a conceptual question which can come into the examination. Try to give the answer. It is just related with the previous concept. Just give the answer of this question. I'm waiting for your answer. Please try to give the answer. Which of the following will be correct? X will be more than Y, X will be less than Y, X equal to Y, or can't be determined. Okay. Now I'm giving this as a homework. Try to solve at home. We will discuss tomorrow. We will discuss tomorrow. This is again a good one, a conceptual one, because UPSC is more concerned about the concept rather than the calculation based question. So this is the actual like whatever concept we have taken, the increment in the base and all, that concept if you understand, you can easily solve it. Is hardly 5-second, 10-second question. You can do it by yourself. Tomorrow we will discuss this question. Okay, now the next is successive increment, decrement we are doing. Suppose there is a, actually generally I don't give formula, but I told you like I will mold myself according to your queries, according to your question. So I never believe in remembering the formula and all, I always believe in the concept part. But since your question are forcing me to give the formula also, so that at least you are able to solve the problem. Because my aim is you will able to clear the prelims, you are able to clear the CSAT paper. So that's why I'm giving the formula also, so that at least you are able to solve it if you are not able to understand the basic concept. So the formula is AB formula. AB formula. And what is this AB formula? This will give us the effective increment or decrement. This will give us the effective percent of increment or percent of decrement. For example, the formula is A plus B plus AB upon 100, and we have to, if A is increasing, we will use positive sign. If B is decreasing or any number is decreasing, we will take negative sign. If number are increasing, we will take positive sign. If number are decreasing, we will take negative sign. So AB formula is basically give us effective increment or decrement. For example, like we have taken one case, if a number is increased by 20%, if a number is increased by 20%, then number is decreased by 20%. If a number is increased by 20%, then number is decreased by 20%, the number become what will happen in the number. So we have to find out the effective change. So I told you the one way. First way was we will take as 100, first 20% increment, 20% of this number become 20, this become 120, then 20% decrement, and 20% decrement become 24, this become 96. That means we are saying that there is a 4% decrement. This is the direct way. This is the direct way, and you can solve it without pen and pencil also. You can solve it mentally also. 20% increment means 100 is become 120, 20% decrement. You can do it without pen and pencil mentally also. How to apply AB formula here? So 1A is equal to plus 20 and B is equal to minus 20. Why minus 20? Because one value is increased and one value is decreased. One value is increased and one value is decreased. One answer I am getting a yes answer. Yes is given correct answer of the previous question. Yes has given the correct answer of previous question. Very good. If you are able to solve previous one, I am damn sure you are going to solve all the problem or most of the problem of the UPSC also. So here I will take A as positive, B as negative. So now we can apply the AB formula. 20, B as negative, that means minus 20, plus 20 into minus 20 upon 100. Now this will come as minus 400 upon 100, that means minus 4, and effective change is coming as minus 4%. So minus 4% means what? Minus 4% means there is a decrement of 4%, and this is what you are getting from here also. So either you can apply the AB formula in successive increment or decrement. You can apply the, okay, many of the answer I am getting, David, Surabhi, Divya, Alok, all are given the correct answer of the previous question. Very nice, beta. You guys are doing great. If you are able to understand the previous concept, that means your concept is good. You are able to solve most of the problems. Don't worry. Now you are able to very easily solve the CSAT paper. Okay. AB formula, effective increment or decrement. We will apply A plus B plus AB upon 100. There was an increment of 20%. There was a decrement of 20%. So A we have taken positive, B we have taken negative. When we solve the effective increment or decrement, how we should know? Since the answer is coming as minus 4, that means there is a decrement of 4%. There is a decrement of 4%. So either you can do it by this way. This is mental approach. After some time you don't require even this. You can solve it without pen and pencil. This required a little bit of effort. So, but I told you, now there is no constraint of time in the examination because we have to solve the limited number of questions. So the best way is either understand this. If you are not able to understand, at least learn this process, learn the formula so that you will able to solve this. Anju has also given the correct answer. Great. I hope this is clear, AB formula. Anybody have doubt, you can ask it. Anybody have doubt, you can ask right now. The AB formula. If you have a doubt in the AB formula right now, you can ask it. Sachin has also given the correct answer. Suppose the question is, a number is increased by 10%, then again increased by 20%. The question is, a number is increased by 10%, then again increased by 20%. Find the percent of increment. So what either one way is, we will take it as 100, 10% increment. This number become 110, then again 20% increment. Increment means addition. 20% of this number become 122. So total number become 132. Anything was 100. Now the number become 132. That means there is an increment of 32%. You can do it without pen and pencil also. Now other way out is, we can apply the AB formula. Other way out is, we can apply the AB formula. And what AB formula is saying? AB formula is saying if both increment is there, we will take both as positive value. Now you can apply the formula 10 plus 20 plus 10 into 20, and all value are positive. this become 32. That means, and positive 32 means there is an increment of 32%. When there is an increment of 32%, that means this 32% increment either you will get from here or you will get from here. So whenever successive increment or decrement is there, where to apply successive increment, decrement, I will tell you. Where to apply successive increment or decrement, I will tell you, don't worry. But first you have to understand, in case of successive increment or decrement, either you can solve by this or you can solve by this. Either you can solve by AB formula or you can solve without AB formula. Both approach are same. Yes, Ishani, 32% increment, great. Okay, now let's take a break of 10-15 minutes, then we will meet and we will see where we have to apply the concept of successive increment or decrement. Mithun, but how can we judge the question is in term of number or percentage? Please explain. Can you explain like a little bit of your question, because I'm not able to understand what exactly you are asking. How we can judge the question in term of number or percentage. In which context you are asking, please explain a bit. There is another question of Mayuresh. I will take it up after the, when I will finish the class, I will take your question. It's a simple one. But right now, I will take this successive increment or decrement. So we have done 2-3 successive increment or decrement case. So, suppose, now the question is where we have to apply this successive increment or decrement concept. See here. Suppose any number is given as A is equal to B into C. A is given as B into C. Sir, we don't have the base value, so the answer is D, can't be determined. The answer is A. The answer of that question was A, the population question. I think you are asking the Shashank same question. The answer was A, X is more than Y. You can go and you can again think, then I will explain tomorrow. I will explain tomorrow. You can go and again think. Okay, here A is equal to B into C. Suppose I am saying there is a 10% increment in B and 20% increment in C. So what is the meaning of this? When we are increasing 10% by B in B, so when 10% is increased, B become 110% or not? B become 110%. And when there is a 20% increment in C, C become 120%. Already we have done all this thing. When B is increased by 10%, so B become 110%. Either you can write directly or you can find out 10% of this number, then add into B. Simple meaning is 110%. When you are increasing 20% in C, the best one way is find out 20% of C, add into this, or you can simply write 120%. Already we have discussed this thing. Now from here we can say B into C into 110 upon 100 into 120 upon 100. What is the B and C value? B and C value is equal to A. B into C is equal to A. So we can write A into 110 upon 100 into 120 upon 100. So if you look very closely, what is the meaning of this? When we are increasing 10% and 20%, That simple meaning is, when we are increasing 10% in B and 20% in C, that simple meaning is, what we are doing? We are simply increasing 10% into A, then whatever value are coming, we are increasing 20% in A. I am repeating, when A is given as B into C, and we are increasing 10% in B and 20% in C, that simple meaning is, from here we can say, that simple meaning is, the increment is not in B and not in C directly. We can say, directly we are increasing 10% in A. First we are increasing 10%. Whatever value is coming, now in that value, we are increasing 20%. So instead of increasing 10% and 20% in B and C, you can directly increase 10% first, then whatever value will come, you will increase 20%. You will increase 20%. Are you getting my point or not? Are you getting my point or not? There are two logic. One logic is, what is the question? The question is 10% increment in A, 20% increment in, 10% increment in B, 20% increment in C. So instead of this, you can directly increase 10% in A, and whatever value will come, now increase 20% again into that. See, when we are writing A into 100%, so that means there is a no increment because the number is itself in 100%. But when we are writing A into 120%, so when any number become 120%, so we can say that there is a 20% increment into that. When we are writing 135%, so that simple meaning is, the number was 100%, now the number become 135%, so there is an increment of 35%. So when we are writing A into 110, that simple meaning is, there is a 10% increment in A. Now whatever value, suppose A dash is coming, so whatever value is coming, now we are multiplying by 120%. So multiplying by 120% means there is a 20% increment in that. So whenever question say, the B is increased by 10%, C is increased by 20%, you have to simply think that you have to just increase A by 10%. Successively, whatever value will come, you have to increase 20% into that. Is this clear or not? If this is clear, then we will move to the question part, because UPSC has already asked so many questions on this. So we are going to solve that question now. I hope this is making sense. Okay. Now where we all can apply this concept, then I will take the question and how we will solve that, we can see. See, this should be in multiplication. The logic is, this should be in multiplication. This cannot be applied in A is equal to B plus C. You cannot apply it here. The logic is, two thing, three thing, anything, like it can be like this also. A is equal to B into C into D dot 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 dot. That means this is going on in the multiplication, and if there is a 10% increment here, 20% increment or decrement here, 10% increment or decrement, whatever is given, so you can simply start doing increasing or decreasing into A itself. No need to do like this. For example, suppose the area of rectangle. So area of rectangle is given as length into breadth. Okay. The area of rectangle is length into breadth. Okay, so length into breadth. Suppose a question is, if Okay. We are going to take one question. We are going to take one question. If the length of a rectangle is increased by 20% and breadth is increased by 30%, then find the percent increment in area. Then find the percent increment in area. What is the question? If the length of rectangle is increased by 20% and breadth is increased by 30%, then find the percent increment in area. So what we know? The area of rectangle is length into breadth. What is given that? The length is increased by 20% and breadth is also increased by 30%. So the question is find the change in the area or percent increment in the area. So just now we have seen when you are increasing length by 20% and breadth by 30%, that simple meaning is you are increasing first area by 20%, then whatever value will come, you will increase that by 30%. So first approach is we can go by AB formula because this is the case of successive increment. So we can go by AB formula and both are the increment case. So we will add the value this will come as 56%. That means the area positive sign is coming. That means the area will increase by 56% because this is the case of successive increment. So we can apply the AB formula. This is the one way to solve the question. This is the one way to solve the question. This is the one way to solve the question. Now the second way is what we can do. We know that the increment is in the area. So we can take area as 100. Initial area as 100. Now there is an increment of 20%. There is an increment of 20%. Increment means addition. How much addition? 20% of this number. 20% of 100 is 20. Now the area become 120. Now whatever value will come, just increase that value by 30%. So 10% of this number become 12. 30% of this number become 36. 30% of this number become 36. If you add, this become 156. Now any number was 100. Now that number become 156. So what is the percent increment? The percent increment is of 56 out of 100. So what is the percent increment? Percent increment is of 56%. Percent increment of 56%. Anything was 100. Now the number become 156. That means there is an increment of 56%. Now you can do it without pen and pencil also. You can assume area as 100 and length is increased by 20%. So first value is increased by 20%. That means 100 is increased by 20%. Now it's become 120. Then next increment of 30%. So if you find out 10% of 120, that become 12. 30% become 36. And now if you add both the value become 156. So either you will use pen and pencil, or if you practice, you can solve it without pen and pencil also. So this is a simple question. Now UPSC has asked one question. The question was, the length is increased by 40% and breadth is decreased by 20%. Breadth is decreased by 20%. Find the percent of change in area. Find the percent of change in area. Find the percent of change in area. This was a UPSC 2015 or 16 question. You can go and check exact year. The data was exactly same. The language was, language can be better one. Language can be better one. So this they have asked once. You can go and check. Just give me the answer of this question. Just give me answer of this question. Almost everybody has given the correct answer of previous one. Devashish, Neeraj, Sashank, Divya, everybody, Atul, and so many other students has given the correct answer. Give me the answer of this question. This is 2014 or 15. You can go and check the exact year. CSAT UPSC question. If the length of a rectangle is increased by 40% and breadth is decreased by 20%, find the change in the area. Yes. Many of you are giving the correct answer. Great. How we can solve? Again, we can apply the AB formula. A is positive increment, but B here will be negative. And why negative? Because it is decreased by. It is decreased by 20%. So decreased by 20%. Yes, everybody is giving the almost correct answer. So now you guys are getting some confidence. Great. So we can apply 40 minus 20 plus 40 minus 20 upon 100. This become 20 minus 8. And this is coming as plus 12. So plus 12 means there is an increment. There is an increment. If it is coming as minus 12, that means there is a decrement. But here the value is coming as plus 12. That means there is a increment of 12%. And you can do it without pen and pencil also. You can assume area is equal to 100. You can assume area is equal to 100. First there is a 40% increment. That means the 100 become 140. The 100 become 140. Now there is a decrement of 20%. So 10% of 140 become 14. 20% become 28. So when you subtract 28 from 140, it's become 112. So anything was 100, now it's become 112. That means there is an increment of 12%. So either you can apply AB formula or you can apply the other way. You can take that value as 100 and you can solve it accordingly. Okay, now there is a limitation of AB formula, which also I need to tell you. Limitation means a longer step you have to take. If the question is like this, if the length, breadth and height of a cuboid is increased by 10%, 20% and 30% respectively, find the percent increment in volume. Now we are coming to the 3D figure, the cuboid. Cuboid means like there are 3-dimension figure like this duster. So there is a length, there is a breadth and there is a height. The room in which you are sitting, you can go and check any corner. Go to the any corner and you will find out there is a length, there is a breadth and there is a height also. So this is a cuboid figure. So the volume of cuboid is length into breadth into height. Now what is the problem here? The length is increased by 10%, breadth is increased by 20% and height is increased by 30%. But we know the formula only for two. If AB is there, we can apply, but we don't have formula for 3. So what we have to do? First we have to find out the effective change between two. If we have to apply the AB formula, first apply between any two. First apply between any two. So I am applying between 10 and 20. So 10 plus 20 plus 10 into 20 upon 100. This becomes 32%. That means if 10% increment in length, 20% increment in breadth, so effective increment of 32%. Now in second step, if you have to apply by AB, if you have to solve this problem by AB formula, you have to apply AB formula now between whatever is the effective value and third value. Whatever is the effective value and third value, you have to apply the AB formula now. So now if I apply the AB formula between 32 and 30, so this becomes 32 plus 30, 30 into 32 upon 100. Okay, this become 62 plus 9.6, and if I add both the thing, this will come as 71.6. That means total increment is of 71.6. So AB formula, if 3 number are given or 3 increment or 4 increment are given, so what you have to do? First you have to find out the effective between two. Whatever effective is coming, then apply that into the last one, and by this way you can find out the correct answer. This is the one way to solve. The other way is I am going to tell you. This is the one way. The other way, we know that we can take volume as 100. The first increment of 10%, 10% of this number become 110. Then increment of 20%. So 20% increment means 22 increment. This becomes 132. Then third increment of 30%. 10% become 13.2. 30% we have to multiply by 3. This will come as 6. 39.6. If I add 39.6, this become 171.6. That means total increment of 71.6% is there. Total increment of 71.6% is there. So you can solve by formula, AB formula, or you can solve directly by this approach. Both the approach are correct. Any doubt you can ask right now? If you have any doubt, you can ask right now. If you have any doubt, you can ask right now. Yes, almost everybody has given the correct answer. If anybody have doubt here, you can ask. Otherwise, I will move to the next portion. See, once you start enjoying the mathematics, once you start learning the concept, it's become very easy. Until unless you are thinking of remembering some formula, you are thinking of, okay, see, mathematics is very simple. You have to just visualize the problem. What the students are doing, generally, if suppose I will tell a concept, they will go home, they will learn that concept, they will try to remember that concept. But there is a problem here. UPSC is not going to ask the same question. UPSC is going to ask something more conceptual, they are going to ask. So to understand that conceptual part, what you have to do, you have to be you have to just understand the basics of that. And that's why I'm telling you the basic, why there is an increment in the volume when we are increasing the length, breadth and height. If you understand that concept, it's become easy for that. This become easy for you. But if you're trying to remember, okay, this will come, so I will apply this, this will come, so I will apply this, then I think at least you are not able to clear UPSC. Might be you are able to clear some other examination, but UPSC, go and check the previous year paper. They are asking very basic, very simple and very conceptual question. They are not asking anything from here and there. They are simply asking the basic of, and we know that a student will make mistake there. A student will make mistake there. Why? Because they never try to learn the concept. They always try to solve the problem. See, solving problem is fine. But before solving the problem, at least for UPSC purpose, you have to first learn the concept. And once you learn the concept, I'm damn sure you are going to solve the paper very easily. But if you, देखो होता क्या है ना कि what we try to do, we try to solve as much as possible. That is a fine approach, I don't have any problem. But solving as much as before that, you have to learn the concept. You have to learn the basic of that. If you are not able to understand the basic, UPSC will ask such question where you are not able to find out the final answer. The reason is very simple, because UPSC never want to check your calculation power. UPSC always want to check your we can say the aptitude. See, the question is civil service aptitude test, CSAT. It's not about civil service mathematics test. They are not going to ask the mathematics, they are going to ask the aptitude part. Are you getting my point or not? So there's a difference between aptitude and mathematics, we can say. Aptitude, what I define is a more logical way, more logical question from the any topic. And when we talk about mathematics, so there is a mathematics of they can ask anything, limit, derivation and all. They have not given in syllabus. They are basically asking the arithmetic part. And why arithmetic part? Because they know that the actual aptitude can be tested only in the like arithmetic part. And then as we move to the higher maths is basically more or less nothing but a pure maths. Or if you have done class 12 with maths, you might have seen the limit question, the derivative question, integration, differentiation, then algebra, all this part. They have not given such thing in syllabus because they know that they have to only check your aptitude. So aptitude, you have to understand the concept, then only you are able to solve that problem into the examination. Otherwise, you will face difficulty while solving the problem. Okay, one more problem. If the side of a square is increased by 100%, if the side of a square is increased by 100%, if the side of a square is increased by 100%, find the percent increment in area. Find the percent increment in area. If the side of a square is increased by 100%, find the percent increment in area. See, again this is a very simple problem. What is the area of a square? Area of a square is side square. Suppose side is A, so this is basically A square. So A square we can write like this, A into A, or not. A square we can write like A into A. So now see here, area is equal to A into A, and there is an increment of 100% here, there is an increment of 100% here. This is what the question is. Side of a square is increased by 100%. That means A is increased by 100%, and here 2A are there. So basically both are increased by 100%. So simply we can apply the AB formula, and that will say as 100 plus 100, 100 into 100 upon 100. That means overall increment of 300%. Overall increment of 300%. So if the side of a square is increased by 100%, the area of a square will increase by 300%. The area of a square will increase by 300%. We can solve by the other way out, by taking 100. If we take A is equal to 100, so first increment of 100%, 100% of any number will be that number itself. 100% of 100 is 100, 100% of 500 is 500, 100% of 700 is 700, 100% of any number is that number itself. So 100% of 100 is 100. So increment means now this become 200. Now second increment of 100%. So 100% of 200 is 200. Now this become 400. Now very careful here. Anything was 100. Now the number become 400. So increment is only of 300%. Increment is only of 300%. Listen carefully. In my hand, one marker is there. 3 more marker came in my hand. I have taken 3 more marker. Total marker become 4. total marker become 4. See, if I have one marker in my hand, if suppose I have take 3 more marker, now total marker become 4, but the increment is of 3 marker only or not? Because one marker was already present. One marker was already present. So 100 was already there. Now the number become 400. What is the increment? Or you can think like, what is the percent increment? So percent increment means final value minus initial value divide by initial value into 100. So answer will be 300%. So be careful here. Be careful here. Be careful here. Anything was 100. Now it's become 400. So the total increment of 300% is there. One student is asking, sir, when it is written as the length is increased and breadth is increased, then why you are increasing in area? Why you are increasing in area? I am not going to repeat it. I have fully explained. I have taken 5, 10, 15 minutes to explain the concept. Go and check the video. You will find out why I am increasing the area, why not I am increasing the length or breadth, why I have increasing the area directly. I have fully explained, taken 5, 10 minutes to explain the concept. So you can go and check the video beta and you will find out your answer. I hope this concept is clear. I hope this concept is clear. 300%, many students has replied, great. Anything was 100, now that become 400, so increment of 300 is there. Understand, increment means final value minus initial value. So final minus initial, 300 increment is there. I have given you the practical example also. I have one marker, I have taken 3 more marker. Now total become 4, but increment is of 3 only. So please be careful, mark this thing, because I know that 90% of the student mark this as a wrong answer. They will mark as an increment of 400, but the actual answer is increment of 300. So please be careful here. Okay. One more question. If the radius of circle is increased by 200%, if the radius of circle is increased by 200%, then first problem is find the increment in area. Find the increment in area. Second part is find the percent increment in area, sorry. Find the percent increment in area. Second part is find the percent increment in circumference. The area of circle is pi r square. The circumference is 2 pi r. Give the answer of first and second part. The area of circle is pi r square and circumference of circle is 2 pi r. Give the answer of these two questions. What is the increment in area? What is the increment in circumference? Okay. Now understand, if any constant is given, so that constant don't have any impact, because that will be there before increment and that will be there after increment also. The impact will be which value are changing. Like here radius are changing, so there is the only impact of radius. So instead of pi r square, we can simply write as a r square also. Instead of 2 pi r, we can simply write as a r also. So understand, there is a no impact of this any constant value. We can multiply by 2, we can multiply by 300, 500, there will be no impact. Why? Because that value will be there before increment as well as after increment also. So there is a no change. Okay, many are giving the correct answer. I am really happy. You guys are doing great. Ishani, Shashank, Divya, Nupur, many of you are giving the correct answer. See here, the area is equal to pi r square. So I told you there is a no meaning of pi here, is simply r into r. There is a 200% increment in this r and 200% increment in this r. So overall increment, apply the AB formula, 200 plus 200, 200 into 200 upon 100. So this becomes 400 plus 400, that means overall increment of 800. So the answer of first question is 800%. Answer of the question is 800%. Anshika is asking why there is an increment, we are increasing the area when there is written as length and breadth. That's why I told you, sir, like you can go and check. I have already explained this. I have taken 15 minutes to explain the concept कि when there is an increment of length and breadth, alternatively the meaning is there is an increment of area. There is an increment of area or volume or whatever is given. Are you getting my point or not? So you can go and check the video again and you will find out your answer. I have already explained that concept. And the problem is what? If I explain same concept again and again, it's become difficult for me and for you also to cover the thing, to cover the concept. So either if you're not getting, suppose this concept, right now ask me, sir, I'm not getting this one, explain this. If you're asking after some time, so again going back and explaining, it's really difficult for me and you also. So the first answer will be 800%, and many of you have given the correct one. Nice. The second one is find the increment in circumference. So instead of 2 pi r, I told you the simple meaning is r. So circumference is equal to r. So r is increased by 200%. That means circumference is also increased by 200%. If r is increased by 200%, that means circumference is also increased by 200%. So this question first answer will be 800%. Almost everybody has given the correct answer. Second answer will be also second answer will be 200%. First is 800% and second is 200%. So these will be the correct answer of A and B. This kind of question they can ask in the examination. So I hope you guys are comfortable of doing such question. Okay, where else we can apply the concept? Whenever 2 things, 3 things are given in multiplication, we can apply the concept of successive increment or decrement. We can apply the concept of successive increment or decrement. Now, where else? Price into consumption is equal to expenditure. Here also we can apply the same logic. Suppose the question is price is increased by 20%, consumption is decreased by 10%, find the increment in the expenditure or decrement in the expenditure. Same logic can be applied. Then velocity into time barabar distance, or speed into time barabar distance. Fine. The same logic can be applied here also. Then efficiency into number of days is equal to total work done. Is equal to total work done. So same logic can be applied here also. Same logic can be applied here also. And sometime you have to make formula just like that. Suppose they will give a question is like this. Okay, you can note it down, then I will remove it and we will move to the next part. Price into consumption is equal to expenditure. Suppose the price of mango is 20 rupees per kg and a person is eating 5 kg mango. So total expenditure will be 100 rupees. Total expenditure will be 100 rupees. Similarly, distance is equal to speed into time or velocity into time. Total work done is equal to efficiency into number of days. So these formula you should know. Here, if these two values are increasing or decreasing, or one increasing, one decreasing, then we can apply the concept of the successive increment or decrement. Okay. Sometime they will give question just like that and you have to think about the formula and accordingly you can write the answer. For example, if the price of movie ticket, suppose KGF2, latest one, is increased by 30%, is increased by 30% and total number of person who is watching movie or who is coming to the cinema hall and who is coming to the cinema hall and total number of person who is coming to cinema hall to watch KGF2 is also increased by 30%. Find the percent increment in total collection. Total collection of movie. Find the percent increment of total collection of movie. So now you can directly think of the formula. Suppose for this classroom, 1 person ticket is 100 rupees. And suppose there are 10 person. So total collection will be what? 100 into 10, that means 1000 rupees. So similarly here, the price of one movie ticket multiplied by the number of person who is watching KGF2, that will give, if we multiply both the thing, we will get the what? We will get the total collection or not? So total collection we can say is equal to price of movie ticket into number of person watching movie or not? Number of person watching movie. So one is increased by 30%, other is also increased by 30%. So we can apply simply AB formula, 30 plus 30, 30 into 30 upon 100, 60 plus 9, that means 69% increment is there. That means 69%, there is an increment of 69% in the collection of the movie. Is this making sense or not? Is this making sense or not? Or like one student is asking, sir, if area is increased and we have to find the increment in the side, I will come to that. One by one I will coming to every example. One by one I am coming to the every example. Just wait, beta. You have to wait. Second type of question is like this only. We are taking one type of question. When this type of question is covered, then we will come to the second type. I hope this is clear to everybody. I hope this is clear to everybody. Okay. Now the second type which the student is asking, type 2, where now what happened? If suppose area is given as length into breadth, okay? And now the question is, if, okay, when the length of rectangle is increased by 30%, the area is increased by 56%. When the length of a rectangle is increased by 30%, the area is increased by 56%. Find the percent of increment in breadth. Find the percent of increment in breadth. When the length of a rectangle is increased by 30%, that means this is increased by 30%, and because of this what happened? The area is increased by 56%. So we have to find out the increment in the breadth. Now understand, we cannot apply directly successive increment or decrement here. Why? Successive increment or decrement were applied when these two values are increasing or decreasing. But now this value is increasing, and other this side value is increasing, so we cannot apply the successive increment or decrement here. The best way to solve here is length is equal to area is equal to length into breadth. What we can do, we can take this as 100, or simply you can take either 10 or 100, is your choice. You can take this as also as 100, and now this become 10000. Fine. We have taken length as 100, breadth as 100, and this become 10,000. Okay, 10,000. 100, 100, this become 10,000. Now what is the question? When the length of a rectangle is increased by 30%. So when length is increased by 30%, now length become 130, and we have to find out the breadth value, and now this is increased by 56%. So when you increase this by 56%, this become 15,600. Just 56% of this become 15,600. From here we can say breadth, now we can solve the value, this become 15600 upon 130. Upon 130. Okay. Now you can solve this thing. One time, how much is left? 2 is left. Okay, 120. Directly is coming as 120. So when B dash become, now that means now breadth become 120. So you can say that initially breadth was 100, now breadth become 120. So what will happen? There is an increment of 20%. There is an increment of 20%. There is an increment of 20%. I am repeating what we have done. Area is equal to length into breadth. What we have taken, it is given that when the length is increased by 30%, the area is increased by 56%. When length is increasing 30%, the area is increasing 56%. Find the increment in the breadth. We have to find out the increment into the breadth. This is what the question is. What we have done, we have taken length is 100, breadth is also 100. You can take both value as 10 and 10 also. Accordingly, area will change. If you are taking 10 and 10, this become 100. I am taking 100 and 100, this become 10,000. Now what happened? Length is increased by 30%. Anything was 100, increased by 30%. That means now this become 130. We have to find out the breadth, so I have taken that as a B dash. Now area is increased by 56%. Anything was 10,000. When it is increased by 56%, that become 15,600. From here we can find out the value of B dash. B dash is coming as 120. That means initially breadth was 100. Now breadth become 120. So what is the increment? The increment in the breadth is 20%. The increment in the breadth is 20%. Take your time. Ask me if you have any doubt here. Just see this. If you have a doubt, you can ask right now. This is type 2. Okay, many of you have replied the correct answer. Aman, Harshita, Anshu, Rupal, Divya, and many of you have given the correct one. Great. If you have any doubt right now, ask me. Otherwise, we will move to the next question or next type. Tomorrow we will do the all previous year problem of percentage. Along with that, I will finish the percentage as a topic. If you are done with the concept part of percentage, at least 5 questions, minimum 5 questions I am saying, minimum 5 questions you are able to solve. Minimum 5 questions you are able to solve. Anybody have doubt, you can ask right now, otherwise I will move forward. Yes, we can do reverse engineering, we can do by option also. We can do by option also. Like how come option? See, anyway, you can do reverse engineering. Suppose if I have taken this as 100, so what happened? Now this 100 is becoming finally 156. How come? Because there is an increment of 56%. That means area is increased by 56%. The first increment is of 30%. That means this become 130. Now there is an increment we have to find out so that 130 become 156. 130 become 156. So we can apply, we can think of what is the increment here. What is the increment here? The increase of 26 out of 130 into 100. Any way you can do it. Any way you can do it. Any way you can do it. So you can apply this and you can find out the answer. Even AB formula also you can apply. How come AB formula? Now what is given? We know that effective change is we are getting in the AB formula, and that is A plus B plus AB upon 100. The effective change is coming as 56. One value is 30 plus 30B upon 100. You can solve this and you will get your answer. So you can do it by any way. Either you can apply AB, but understand which value is given and which value we have to put. Now A and B value are not given. We have to give one value and the effective change we have given. And we have given the effective change. So you have to be careful here. So it was a bit confusing. That's why we are taking 100, 100 and we are trying to find out the answer. But if you understand this concept well, you can apply this way also. You can go by this way also. That's up to you. Everything is interconnected. Everything is interconnected. Okay. One student is asking, sir, how to know where to put which method? This is a logical question, but this will come with a practice. There is no alternative of this. This will come with a practice. When you practice some questions, the best way to approach mathematics is first visualize the concept. You have to visualize, you have to make the mental map of a particular concept. Whenever I am taking a concept, just make a mental map of that. Okay, which value is given, whether A is given, B is given, or effective change is given. If you are able to make this mental map, then the next part is the practice part. When you do the practice, after some time, you will understand, okay, we have to apply this concept here. Like for example, every class, every year, whenever I am taking a CSAT classes, I am learning from you also. Sometime your concept or your question give me an extra like a dimension and I start thinking like that. So this is like a practice. When we practice, we will learn. So this you can do by a practice method only. Okay? Now, this I think I have answered this question. Second part, somebody is asking, sir, why you have taken 100 and 100. See, I am giving you a golden tips. The golden tips is, listen very carefully, when in the question every data is given in percentage form. When in question every data is given in percentage form and final answer is also in the percentage. When in the question every data is given in the percentage form and final answer is also in the percentage, then instead of x, you can take any value, you will get your answer. That means, what I have assumed? I have assumed length as 100 and breadth also as 100. I have assumed, it is not given, I have assumed length as 100, breadth also as 100. So when I multiply 100 into 100, the area become this one. Okay? So one student is asking, sir, how area become this? Because we have taken length and breadth is equal to 100 and 100. And when we can take any value? When every data is given in the percentage and final answer is also they are asking in the percentage. Okay? Or you can take any value. You can take 10 and 10. Now this become 100 in that case. You can take 5 and 10. This become 50. You can solve any method. Your answer is not going to change. You can take any value. But since we are solving for ourselves, always we will try to take the simplest value. Always we will try to take the simplest value. Even if you take 13 into 3, this become 39, you will get the same answer. Just apply the logic, you will get the same answer. But finding out 30% of this, finding out 56% of this is really difficult. So when you are solving for yourself, we will always try to take the simplest data. So what is simplest data? These two are the simplest data. Either you can take length as 100, breadth as 100, and the area become 10,000. This is assumption. We are assuming. Or you can take length as 10, breadth as 10, this become 100. In both the way or any data, the answer will remain same. That means you have to increase length by 30%. So this become 13, this become B dash, and you have to increase the area by 56%. This become 156. So B become 156 upon 13, that means 12. Anything was 10, now it's become 12. There is an increment of 20%. So the idea is either you will take this value 100, 100, or you will take 10 or 10 answer, or any value, the answer will remain same. Are you getting? And when we can apply this? When all the data in the questions are given in the percentage form. When all the data in the questions are given in the percentage form, then we can apply this logic. This is the golden rule which you won't find in any of the book. This is my own experience. This is my own practice. This is my own expertise, I can say, which I am telling you. Whenever all data are given in the percentage, final answer they are asking in the percentage, then you can apply this thing and you will get your answer. Okay, sir, I hope now this is making sense. Okay, just a sincere request, sir. Dekho, you are preparing for civil service. The first quality which required is discipline, punctuality, honesty. Honesty doesn't mean that honesty, dekho, there's a different meaning. For me, honesty means honesty with yourself itself. You are going to, suppose you have to clear the examination, the honesty is you will revise the class properly, then only you will come tomorrow. And then only you will able to understand. You have to be very disciplined, you have to be very punctual, then only you are going to clear the examination. So please, is a request to you, if you are coming tomorrow, please revise the yesterday and today class, then come tomorrow and I will make sure you are able to solve all the problems of UPSC. You are able to solve all the problems of UPSC, but you have to just move 1 and 2 step. You have to solve the previous year paper. You have to solve the previous year problems. And we will discuss everything, don't worry. But at least revise the class properly. At least revise the class properly, and then you will able to understand tomorrow concept. Otherwise, same thing will be there, and you will face the heat. You will face the problem. Okay. Then there is a type third. If the length of the rectangle is increased by 25%, if the length of the rectangle is increased by 25%, then find out by what percent breadth should decrease so that area remain constant. If the length of rectangle is increased by 25%, the breadth is by what percent, then find out by what percent the breadth should decrease so that area remain constant. Understand? Now what is the third method? Area is equal to length into breadth. You are increasing length by 25%. Now the area is not changing. And we have to decrease into breadth. This is the same question like, if I write a question like this, a number is increased by 25%. A number is increased by 25%. By what percent the number should decrease so that it will reach to the original number? It will become original number. Okay, fine. I will complete the class, don't worry. What happened? This is the last question we are taking. If the number is increased by 25%, by what percent the number should decrease so that it become original number? The same question. See, you are increasing length by 25%. The area is not decreasing. By what percent the breadth should decrease? So how we can solve? Simply, if area was 100, so when length is increased by 25%, what will happen? The area will increase by 25% or not? 25% means 25 increment is become 125. Now the question is, by what percent this should decrease so that the area remain constant? That means when breadth is decreasing, now that means this value should decrease so that we will reach here. So think about that. I have already told you the increment is still of 25. Here 25 increment, here 25 decrement. But when we are finding out the percentage, initially we are finding out percentage with respect to this. Now we are finding out percentage with respect to this 125. So simply we can say the answer will be 20%. That means the breadth should decrease by 20% so that area remain constant. This is a simple question. When many of the students has given the correct answer, 20% decrement in B. Great, you guys are doing great. Already we have taken this thing. The language is changed, the orientation of question is changed, but already we have taken this concept. So simply when there is a 25% increment, there should be decrement of 20% so that we will reach on the original value. You can apply the AB formula also. The effective change is of 0. Effective change is of 0. A is 25. B we have to find out. 25 into B upon 100. This become 4. So minus 25 is equal to 4B plus B, 5B upon 4. So B become minus 20. That means there is a decrement of 20%. Why we have taken effective as 0? Effective as 0 because there is a no change in the area. That means effective change is 0. Length is increased by 20. Breadth we have to find out. So A we have taken 25. B we are finding out. Total effective change is 0. We can put this. We can find out the answer. We can find out the answer. So almost you have given the correct answer. Please go home, revise this thoroughly, and if you have a doubt, please you can ask me. I will just starting before starting the class, we will take all your doubts. One doubt I think Mayuresh has asked, if I remember the question was if 400 is subtracted from 62.5% of a number, the number become 900, something like that. The question was if 400 is subtracted from 62.5% of a number, the number become 900, if I remember correctly. Find the original number. This was the question. So suppose number is x, the 62.5% of number become 62.5 upon 100 into x. And when 400 is getting subtracted out of this, that means we will subtract 400 out of this, the number become 900. That means x into 62.5 upon 100 is equal to 1300. So x is equal to 1300 into 100 upon 62.5. 62.5. Fine. If I remove point here, 1 0 will be added. Okay. Now you can solve this, you will get your answer. I thought this will cut directly, but you can solve it, you will get your answer. What will be the correct answer? I hope this will cut it down directly. Okay. So this was the question. That's it for today. Tomorrow we will meet at same time. Just starting off the class, whatever doubt you will have, you can send it to the class coordinator. I will take it up all your doubts before starting the class. Thanks for today. Hope you enjoyed the class. Let's meet tomorrow at same time.